Hello, you. Welcome back to Ascents with Effie. If you're new to this channel, I'm Effie, and we will be diving into all things growth, resilience, and reaching new heights in life, in any sphere, and in your career. In my last video, I shared my personal story, and that's my journey from teaching in Nigeria to building a career in tech right here in Canada. I talked about the ups and downs and everything in between. So if you haven't seen it yet, be sure to check it out to get a peek into how my unconventional path led me to where I am today. Now, let's talk about today's video and the start of our new series. There is a huge trend right now in the tech industry, you may know or not, but it's becoming more open to people with non-traditional backgrounds. That's super exciting, isn't it? Because, you know what? Many of you are interested in breaking into tech, but might not have a computer science degree. Well, let me tell you, I didn't have one. In this series, I'll be sharing a step-by-step guide on how you can make the switch to tech, just like I did. We'll break down everything you need, from leveraging your transferable skills and finding mentors to picking up relevant tech skills. Things like project management, product ownership, data analysis, and understanding exactly how the tech industry works. Now, each episode will be packed with practical tips you can use right away, and I'll be pulling from my own experience to show you what worked for me. Now, by the end of this series, you'll have a clear roadmap that you can follow to start your journey into tech. So if you're ready to take that first bold step, let's get this party started. Now, I'll start with a little story, because if I can make the transition, trust me, you can too. I started in teaching, yes, writing on the board, teaching. And I'm here in tech today because I realized something really important. Tech isn't just about coding. It's about problem solving. It's about organizing. It's about planning and adapting as well. Things that many of us do every day without even realizing that they are valuable in the tech setting. Now let's dive into step one of transitioning into tech without a traditional background. And that's what I call identifying your own transferable skills. We're doing a breakdown of these skills. You may already have them, and you now can show them directly and see how they translate into tech roles. Let's start with setting objectives. If you've ever taught a subject, taught in a school, managed a team, or led a project, you know how to set objectives. In teaching, we call it lesson planning. We are setting clear goals for what we want our students to learn by the end of each lesson, right? But now in tech, project managers, product owners, and analysts do this exact thing. They define project goals, they set outcomes, and they keep the team focused on achieving them. Just as a teacher identifies what students should learn, a project manager or product owner outlines what a team should deliver. Maybe not a product owner, but if you've set any kind of goals or learning outcomes in a different job, guess what? You've already practiced one of the most fundamental skills in tech project management. How does that feel? I'll tell you another story. When I was a teacher, I had a clear objective every day. And I remember then, I'll think, all right, today I'm going to make sure my students understand fractions. But in project management, it's a lot like saying today we're going to finish phase 1 of our project or pick up a milestone. It's the same principles. It's just a different setting. So if you can set clear goals, you're well on your way. Next, let's talk about sequencing activities. In the classroom, this might look like starting with a warm-up activity, moving on to a new material or concept, and then you're ending with practice. We create like a logical sequence, right? In tech, we call it structuring project phases. Now, projects do have phases. Maybe it's research or design or it's testing, and finally you're doing a release. It's like building on fundamental or foundational concepts before even diving into the complex stuff. So you see, you've ever planned a series of tasks and you've organized a day to maximize your productivity. That skill directly translates to project planning in technology. I remember planning out my lessons so that students wouldn't zone out by 10 a.m. in the morning. You know, in tech, you're doing the same thing. Keeping tasks moving, keeping people engaged, and structuring the flow. So if you're good at breaking things down into steps, you're already thinking like a project manager. And you're having what we call systems thinking. Another skill I brought from teaching was differentiating instructions. And you know, as a teacher, you tailor your teaching to reach each student's unique learning style and needs. Some students are visual learners, while others prefer hands-on activities. Now in tech, it translates to team management. You're working with people from all sorts of backgrounds, which we call cross-functional team, with each person having their own strengths and preference. Good project managers in tech tailor tasks to suit each team member's strengths. Now, this makes for a stronger, more cohesive team, and it helps everyone become more productive. I had a classroom of students who all learned differently. Like, it made me adaptable. In tech, it's just like dealing with teammates who have different expertise, right? You know you're doing something right when you can adjust your approach to fit different people, whether it's in a classroom or in an office. Now let's talk about assessment. As a teacher, you're constantly assessing progress through quick quizzes, short tests, discussions, mini projects, or even the big tests, which we call exams. This tells you where your students are at and actually lets you adjust if needed. In tech, we do this through what we call progress checkpoints, or as they are known in Agile, sprint reviews. Now, regular assignments actually help tech teams see how close they are to meeting their goals and if they need to change their direction. So if you've ever done progress checks, reviews, that's another skill that you've already mastered. You don't need to learn it again. There were days when my students' quiz scores showed me that I needed to go back to do a reteach of a particular skill or concept. It's the same thing in tech. Sometimes you realize that you need a course correction to get the results you're aiming for, right? It's the same skill. It's just a new application, a new way to apply it, right? So transitions are next. In a classroom, you move from one activity to another as a teacher to ensure that there is a smooth flow, keeping the kids engaged. In tech, we do this by managing project phases or task switching. In an agile environment, especially, tech teams need to shift gears really quickly because they want to fail fast and fix things quickly. So if you've handled class transitions without losing the class's attention, you can manage transitions in a fast tech project. You can. Yes. Think of it this way. If you can get a group of fourth graders to switch from math to reading without losing their focus, you're more than ready to help a tech team switch from design to testing and even to release. Another skill is incorporating technology. Now, in teaching, I use tools like interactive whiteboards or even blackboards or online learning platforms, but in tech, we use tools like Jira, Trello, Asana, and the like to ensure that we can monitor tasks and we can also look at the progress of the work. So if you are familiar with digital tools or you're still learning or looking to learn, trust me, you're way ahead of your game. So transitioning to project management tools is just building on what you already know, using tech to streamline the work and keeping everyone on the same page. Moving from interactive whiteboards to project management software wasn't as huge a leap as I thought. Tools are just what they are. Tools to make the job easier. If you're good with tech in one role, trust me, you'll get a hang of it in another. Now, encouraging autonomy. If you've ever encouraged students to think independently, you know this already. In tech, good project managers encourage their team to take ownership of their task and take the lead in the role. Now, trusting your team to be proactive is just like student freedom within the structure. If you've done this as a teacher, you've got the foundation for encouraging autonomy in a tech setting. So there you have it. Identifying transferable skills from teaching, hospitality, retail, medical, health, or anywhere else. These are hidden skills that make you valuable in tech. And trust me, these skills are powerful. They're the difference makers. They are the different makers, or they are the difference in what tech teams are looking for. If you're thinking about tech, start by recognizing your strengths. These transferable skills could be exactly what a tech team is looking for. So go out there, believe in yourself, believe in your skills, and let them lead you to great new places. Thanks for watching, and if you want more tips on transitioning to tech, don't forget to reach out. I'll see you in my next video as we continue on our journey on Ascents with FA. Keep climbing.